Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Another exciting new machine installation day. Today we're going to be working on the install of our shop air system. So for the past few months I've been working directly with Kaeser compressors and also Air Power Services. Air Power Services is located here in Pensacola, and they are the authorized factory dealer and installer for Kaeser compressors. They've been in business for a very long time. In fact, my dad and I used to do business with them years ago. They even installed the air compressor that I have at my current shop now that we've been using for a while. But anyway, I've been working with these guys and trying to come up with a good shop air system for the new shop here. And we finally landed on a system that I think is going to work good for my needs here. And Air Power will be here soon to start the installation. We're going to be installing the Kaeser air tower, and I believe this is going to be the 5 horsepower air tower. The only issue is that it's not ready yet. They're still, they have a backlog on these compressors. It's several months out. I believe my unit is going to be ready in maybe sometime mid to late summer is what they're expecting. And whenever that system or that compressor is ready, Air Power is going to be taking delivery of that, bringing it here and installing it. But in the meantime, they actually have another compressor there at their shop that they're going to be installing here on a temporary basis until my unit is ready. So we're not, today on this video, we're not going to be focusing real heavily on the compressor that's going in, although we will share that and we'll talk about the, how it's going to work for my needs. But what I want to highlight in this video is the Kaeser smart pipe system that's going to be installed, as well as the auxiliary tank that we're going to be installing as well. I think this is going to provide a really nice shop air system that's modern, that's going to function well, and hopefully it's going to be leak free and it's going to be super quiet and energy efficient. All right, so the guys should be here real soon to begin the install, and I'm going to bring you along for the ride, and hopefully we're going to show you some of the some shots of the install. We'll get into some of the component parts and talk about the features. I've been working directly with Brad over at Air Power, and he's extremely knowledgeable on all of these air compressor systems. He's been doing it for a long time, so he's the guy that's going to be able to answer all the questions that we have on the smart pipe system and why we chose this particular air compressor system for the shop. All right, so we'll go around and I'll show you what the plan is for the piping system. So my plan for the air compressor is it's going to sit right there, right in between the pacemaker and the Miltronics lathe. It's not a very big unit, although the one that's going to be here on the temporary basis, I believe, is a little bit bigger than the unit that I'm going to end up with. But this is going to give us enough space right here for it to sit here permanently and work just fine. And again, they're super quiet systems, so this isn't going to be a noise bother while we're working in the shop. All right. And the other thing that we're going to be doing is installing an auxiliary tank for more air volume. That is going to be sitting right up there against the wall up on top of the office. They're going to set it there. I believe they'll probably have it strapped to the wall or mounted down to the ceiling there. That is all plywood up there. So we'll have an auxiliary tank there. Main compressor is going to sit right here, and our smart pipe system, the Kaeser smart pipe, is going to begin here, and we are going to run it both directions. So we're going to have a run of smart pipe around the office wall, all the way around to that beam all the way over there. Okay, so I'm going to have a hose reel over there. I'm going to end up having some hose reels here and probably maybe a hose reel here, but they're going to end up putting me some drops in several locations so that we have the ability to kind of add a hose reel or an air hose wherever we need to, or if we need to hook to the machines. That's the other important thing about this system, is that it's going to be providing air to our new CNC machines. We've got another Miltronics coming, which is going to be sitting in this area here. So we'll have a drop back there for the Miltronics lathe. We're going to have a drop here for the Miltronics mill when it comes. And we have another machine that's going to be coming. It's going to be sitting right here. So it's going to provide air for this machine as well. But it'll run, I believe they're going to run right along the wall here with the smart pipe, and then also kind of follow along the cover for the AC lines there. And we'll have a pipe that runs all the way down the length of the shop, all the way there to the door. And we're going to have, drops every so often with the smart pipe. I'm really excited to get this started. You know, this has been several months in the making, and it's been great working with Kaeser, great working with Air Power Services, and I'm excited for them to get in here and to help me get this shop air system installed. So they should be here soon, and we'll begin the installation. All right, there's the extra storage tank going up top.
You can go. Yeah. And when you want to get over with it, make sure tilt forward. Down. Down. Back up. Come on back. Come on.
All right, there it is.
Let me know what you're doing. First time. Today? Yeah, that will make you change the propane bottle.
That's the propane alarm?
It's going to mess up Adam's video.
Oh, it ain't gonna mess anything up. I'll run and go get a tank for you if you want me to.
This is our last lift, ain't it?
Yeah. We'll just have you take it right on into place, I think, man. Appreciate it, man. Okay, so the guys have the air compressor about where it's going to be. It's going to be moved around a little bit. We also have the auxiliary storage tank up there, and all this will be mounted and piped together right there to work as one unit. That is a 120-gallon storage tank right there. All right, and I wanted to reiterate that this is not the final compressor that we're going to be using. This is going to be a temporary unit until mine is ready and it will be here. This is a 5 horsepower air center. Mine is going to be a 5 horsepower air tower. It's about the same size, just slightly different configuration. But since this isn't the final unit, we don't want to really go into full details on this exact unit. But this does belong to Air Power Services. This is their unit that they say that they use as a temporary service like we're doing right now. Maybe at some point they may end up selling it, but right now it's just they own this and they use it in cases like this right here. But you can see that it is going to fit right in this area, and we're going to end up having the smart pipe that will of course attach into the tank. We're going to have a line on the top of this wall going down the other way as well, and I believe they're going to run it along this beam right here all the way down this wall. Okay, and then we're going to have a line of it run all the way down this wall all the way to the end as well. All right, so I want to show you guys the piping that they're going to be using. This is the Kaeser Smart Pipe Plus is what Brad said that it's called. And this is the 25 millimeter that's going to be running along the wall, also, you know, considered 1 inch. So 25 millimeter, and then we also have the 20 millimeter. This is going to be your drops. It's going to come down into your connections there. All right, so that's all the pipe. We've got a box full of all of the connections right here, and I've got a few of those out. And Brad is going to help me go into this in more detail later. I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what's all the components of the system that's going in. This will be your. This is going to be at the bottom of the drops right here. So you basically have 2 connections, a ball valve. Your smart pipe goes into this. So this is going to be sort of the end. That'll be mounted on the walls. Wherever our drop is at is where this guy is going to be. You also have these 90s right here. This is pretty cool. This gets bolted around the 25 millimeter pipe, and the way this works is that they actually will drill a hole, and that this clamps around the pipe where the hole is drilled, and then you have another connection right here where you can come out. So this makes it very easy to add more drops along this smart pipe system wherever you need to. If you need to add a line at some point along the wall, you can go up there, drill you a hole, clamp one of these to the pipe, and then have you another drop. These are some of the connections right there. You got your you know, T connection, straight connector right there. This looks like a 45. And then this is your pipe connection there. So this is what attaches to it, attaches to the pipe, and then gives you your MPT threads. So they'll be using this, you know, where the hose is attached to the compressor. So we will go into more details about this system. I'm gonna have Brad, once this is all installed, I'm gonna get him on camera and have him kind of talk about the benefits of the smart pipe system, why they decided to use this system, and why we're going with the size Kaeser compressor that we're using in this shop. I did ask him, I said, is this going to be suitable, say if I wanted to use a paint gun, you know, spray some paint. He says this is a high quality industrial system that's suitable for most any industrial applications, such as machine shop, manufacturing, cabinet shops, paint shops, all of those kinds of systems or those kinds of shops. This is a system that's designed for those applications right there. So it has an air dryer and it has a filter system there as well. So the air is dry and filtered before it comes out to where it comes into the machines or the end user when we have our air hoses there at the end. All right, so the guys are going to get started installing the smart pipe here real soon, and bring you along for the ride and show you how it goes and maybe get a few clips of the install, okay? All right, the guys have been getting some of the smart pipe installed. We'll show you a little progress shot of where they're at right now. You're getting some of the drops mounted onto the wall there. Yep, so they're running this one underneath this beam here, and then they'll tee it out and come down, and it'll mount directly to the drops there. I went around and gave them some marks about where we want the drops. Come back here and see how it's being mounted on this wall here. They got these clamps that they screw into the beam and holds it up. So the guys almost have all of the smart pipe system installed. Just want to walk around and kind of show you what we're looking at here. So that's to be our end drop there. It's looking really good. They've got it tucked in nice here underneath this beam. And then I'll show you how I might have to move my banner there, but I was just going to show you how they did the little kickouts here so that it would line up right here on this beam. All right, it's coming along good. We've got that one there on that beam as well. So I know they still have to come in here and finish hooking everything up here. There's going to be a drain line that runs along the floor that penetrates through the back wall for the condensation. I know that's still got to get done. We already have a circuit run over here for power, so that's already ready for them to hook up. All right, and I think all they have left really is to plumb in the tank there. And once they get that tank plumbed in to the main pipe, I think the smart pipe will be ready to go, and it's just a matter of getting the compressor hooked up here. So I was going to show you how it was run along. We decided to put it on the top. It was just the simplest way, since we have this plywood up there that they can screw the anchors down into. So run down this way. We got our drops right on the face of the wall. We got 3 drops on this side here. So my plan is I'm going to have 2 hose reels right here. They'll be probably the same hose reels. That way I can run one for shop air, and I can pull another one right over here to our milling machine when I want to use my mist coolant. So basically I have 2 of them here for this area, and then I've also we've got an extra one right here. So we may have another hose reel here at some point. I'm not sure yet, but just wanted to have the capacity. And then this one down here, I plan on having a hose reel here on this beam probably, and we'll be able to just tie into that drop right there. So I believe they have pretty well all of the smart pipe hooked in. There may be a couple things I'm not or I'm overseeing, but that is nearly complete. So I think the main thing is just getting everything plumbed into our auxiliary tank up top there, and of course getting the compressor hooked up. Really excited to get this system completed, but not only that, I'm excited to hear it, you know, see how this compressor is going to sound, and I know we're going to have a really high quality shop air system here. So I'll bring you guys back as we have more that gets done around here, okay? We have an operating air compressor, and it's not too loud either. I'm trying to get a little audio here so you guys can maybe kind of see what the noise level is like with me standing here near it. It's really not overpowering at all. It's not too loud. It's gonna make some noise, but it's nothing like a piston compressor at all. And it's not like this is gonna run all day long on and off in my shop. That's not gonna happen. It'll kick on and off a little bit as we're using a little bit of air here and there. So this guy right here, this is supposed to be your oil separator. So this is going to pull any condensation, any water from the system over into this guy. This is going to separate the condensation from any oil that's in the air, and then it simply drains. They have a stainless steel drain line that's going to go out the building. So you have clean water that drips outside for your drain. I believe they have this set for me to shut off at 120 PSI, and it kicks on whenever it reaches 100 PSI or below 100 PSI. We're at 117, 118. Let's see if it shuts off there at 120. 120, maybe he's got it at 125. Probably what they set it at. All right, there it is. Stop. It's going to stop pumping air into the system there. I think it's going to run for just a short amount of time, and then it'll shut down. All right, there we are, shut off. So approximately a minute that the unit continues to run after it stops filling the system full of air. And you will hear the dryer run on and off, kind of like a refrigerator does. You see it's not very noisy at all. I like it, man, I really like it. This is such a nice system. I have been getting some of my hose reels installed. We have shop air. So our new Kaeser air compressor system is now completely 100% installed. The air compressor, the smart pipe, our auxiliary tank, everything is all plumbed and hooked up. I've been working on getting some of my hose reels installed. That's going to be a separate video on that application right there. But man, just so happy to have such a high quality industrial air system in my shop right here. I've been really had my sights on a Kaeser air compressor since about 2018 when I got to visit these guys over in FabTech, and they had one of their air centers here on display and it was running, and I was really intrigued at that time. So I knew from that point that whenever I had the need for an upgraded air compressor that I wanted to go with one of the Kaeser rotary screws here. I think this is going to be a excellent system for my needs right here. You know, I'm going to be sort of a low volume shop. You know, I don't have tens or hundreds of machines lined up, you know, taking air. You know, we're going to have a couple of machines that are going to be hooked into this that's going to be using air. And besides that, general shop air nozzles, maybe an air grinder here and there, you know, running a cool mist. And I think this is going to be an excellent system. So big thanks to Kaeser for working with me directly on their air compressors and recommending a system that's going to work for my needs. Also, big thanks to Air Power Services here in Pensacola for coming out and talking with me one-on-one. They went over all of my needs, all of my wants, and what I was thinking about doing here. And they helped come up with a properly sized air compressor that's going to suit my needs here for my shop, and to come up with a suitable installation to make this work for the space that I had available and kind of what I had thought out here. So real happy with the install. I think it's very professional. I think it's going to work for my needs. So really excited. We have our shop air system. It is ready to go, ready to put to work, and just so excited about that. I'm going to do a separate video. I'm going to have Brad come in here, and we're going to go over the smart pipe system a little bit more in depth. He's very knowledgeable on that. So I want to get him behind the camera and kind of talk about the benefits of the smart pipe, why we went with that, and he can talk a little bit more in depth about the size of the compressor for my shop needs, and maybe compare this to some other needs, because they build this in many different sizes, the 5 horsepower being the smallest size, which is what we've got here for me. But these get much larger, and they can build out a system for any industrial application, no matter what the size of your shop or maybe your industrial plant is. All right, so be on the lookout for that second video where we talk about the smart pipe. So I think that's going to wrap this up. Again, super excited about having the Kaeser in here. I think it looks great. I love the big yellow tank up there. So just super stoked about this. All right, guys, we will see you on the next video.